Hey humans, and welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn. I'm going to read to you. We are on Frankenstein. We're on Frankenstein. On his lap, let's say. No, just kidding. But seriously, it's story time. From The Creature. We are on Chapter 15, Part 3. Frankenstein. By Mary Shelley. Frankenstein. Who is the Frankenstein? This is... So, Part 3. For some weeks, I had led a miserable life in the woods. Oh, he pluralized it this time. Woods. Endeavoring to cure the wound which I had received. The ball had entered my shoulder, and I knew not whether it had remained there or passed through. At any rate, I had no means of extracting it. My sufferings were augmented also by the oppressive sense of the injustice and ingratitude of their infliction. My daily vows rose for revenge, such as would alone compensate for the outrages and anguish I had endured. Well, excuse me. You are haunting. You're dead. Our printer is acting a fool. My sufferings were augmented also by the oppressive sense of the injustice and ingratitude of their infliction. My daily vows rose for revenge, such as would alone compensate for the outrages and anguish I had endured. After some weeks, I got this, I swear. After some weeks, my wound healed, and I continued my journey. The labors I endured were no longer to be alleviated by the bright sun or gentle breezes of spring. All joy was but a mockery, which insulted my desolate state, and made me feel more painfully that I was not made for the enjoyment of pleasure. Damn. It just gets lower and lower. But my toils now drew near a close, and 2 months from this time I reached the environs of Geneva. It was evening when I arrived, and I retired to a hiding place among the fields that surrounded it, to meditate in what manner I should apply to you. I was oppressed by fatigue and hunger, and far too unhappy to enjoy the gentle breezes of evening or the prospect of the sun setting behind the stupendous mountains of Jura. At this time, a slight sleep relieved me from the pain of reflection, which was disturbed by the approach of a beautiful child, who came running into the recess I had chosen with all the sportiveness of infancy. Suddenly, as I gazed upon him, an idea seized me, that this little creature was unprejudiced, and had lived too short a time to have imbibed a horror of deformity. If therefore I could seize him and educate him as my companion and friend, I should not be so desolate in this peopled earth. Yikes, that is not a good idea, dude. Not a good idea. Okay. Crazy times call for crazy measures. You're alone in this world. Maybe you want to kidnap a child and brainwash it. You're my friend now. Urged by this impulse, I seized on the boy as he passed and drew him toward me. Come here, little boy. As soon as he beheld my form, he placed his hands before his eyes and uttered a shrill scream. I drew his hand forcibly from his face and said, "Child, what is the meaning of this? I do not intend to hurt you. Listen to me." He struggled violently. "Let me go," he cried. "Monster, ugly wretch, you wish to eat me and tear me to pieces. You are an ogre. Let me go or I will tell my papa. Boy, you will never see your father again. You must come with me." That's not helping. Jesus, you lost. The dude. "Hideous monster, let me go. My papa is Syndic. He is Frankenstein. He would punish you. You dare not keep me. A little shit. Oh. Frankenstein, you belong then to my enemy, to him towards whom I had sworn eternal revenge. You shall be my first victim." The child still struggled and loaded me with epithets which could despair to my heart. I grasped his throat to silence him, and in a moment he lay dead at my feet. Ooh. I gazed on my victim, and my heart swelled with exultation and hellish triumph. Clapping my hands, I exclaimed, "I too can create desolation. My enemy is not impregnable. This death will carry despair to him, and 1,000 other miseries shall torment and destroy him." As I fixed my eyes on the child, I saw something glittering on his breast. I took it. It was a portrait of a most lovely lady. In spite of my malignity, it softened and attracted me. For a few moments I gazed with delight on her dark eyes, fringed by deep lashes, and her lovely lips. But presently my rage returned. I remembered that I was forever deprived of the delights that such beautiful creatures could bestow, and that she whose resemblance I contemplated would, in regarding me, have changed that air of divine benignity to one expressive of disgust and affright. Yaga! Could you wonder that such thoughts transported me with rage? I only wonder that, at that moment, instead of venting my sensations in exclamations and agony, I did not rush among mankind and perish in the attempt to destroy them. While I was overcome by these feelings, I left the spot where I had committed the murder, and was seeking a more secluded hiding place when I perceived a young woman passing near me. She was young, not indeed so beautiful as whose portrait I held, but of an agreeable aspect and blooming in the loveliness of youth and health. Here, I thought, is one of those whose smiles are bestowed on all but me. She shall not escape. Thanks to the lessons of Felix and the sanguinary laws of man, I have learned how to work mischief. I approached her unperceived and placed the portrait securely in one of the folds of her dress. For some days I haunted the spot where those things had taken place, sometimes wishing to see you, sometimes resolved to quit the world and its miseries forever. At length I wandered towards these mountains, and having ranged through their immense recesses, consumed by a burning passion which you alone can gratify. We may not part until you have promised to comply with my requisition. I am alone and miserable. Man will not associate with me, but one as deformed and horrible as myself would not deny herself to me. My companion must be of the same species and have the same defects. This being you must create. This is okay. He's like, man will not associate with me, but a horrible woman will. So this being you must create. That's what he says. That is what he says. And then chapter 16, but we're not there yet, so let's not go to chapter 16. I shush. Not in the chapter 16. Well, chapter 15 is the end of the long-ass 4 or 5 chapters of blah, blah, blah monster talk, right? Nobody wants to listen to a monster. He's just an evil being. Nothing created, just always been bad. But seriously, who is he really? What is his name? Has he given himself a name? Has he thought about giving himself a name? That didn't come up. Maybe he thought of giving himself, maybe he just calls himself wretched. I'll call him wretched, wretch. Call him little wretch, little rere. Something like that, whatever. Anyway, if you'd like me to keep reading, please check out more of my videos. Give me a thumbs up for liking it, or like it to be liking it. Subscribe to some of the channel and write some comments down below. And I promise we will be friends. Because we already are. Friend.